Division I play here.
Just about ready for a tip-off. Crimble and Pugh.
Hey,
comes
it's
right to
going to us.
All right.
Start the game here.
And we're underway. Our officiating crew today, Daniel Estevez.
If only they
Ashley
didn't know
Good.
my NCAA eligibility is expired.
Yeah.
I can't get in the game here.
Ashley Good and Mark McClenny. So it's Catamount basketball to start things off. Thanks for joining us here from Patrick Gymnasium. UVM 3-6, Canisius 1-4. The Vermont Catamounts, their depth will be tested early on. Talked to Coach Kresge yesterday. Probably see around 6 or 7 Catamounts playing this game as Josie Larkins can't get that one to go. Larkins, one of the junior co-captains for UVM, averaging 14 points per game.
And that was a good look for Larkins. It just got the wrong bounce off the back of the rim there. Otherwise, she did everything right.
So a turnover there by Canisius as Emma Utterback, the freshman, moves quickly in transition. Larkins wide open. In and out again.
Still another good look, and when you're a shooter like Josie Larkins can be, you got to keep taking those shots because she's off to a good start.
So Canisius has had a plethora of starting lineup changes today. With the ball right now is DeJay Patterson-Ricks. She's number 5. She's been starting all year long, but number 11, Anzia Ziegler, as another turnover, a steal from Etta Utterback.
That's back-to-back steals by Utterback, by the way.
Yeah, Ziegler for the Golden Griffins played in her first game against Albany last week. She was nursing a leg injury all year long. Averaged 7 points last year. Here's Sarah Wells, an off-balance Jay. She gets the friendly bounce, and finally, the rim benefits the Catamounts.
Sarah Wells does everything so well. She's such a spark plug for this team, and the more minutes she gets, the more energy she sort of infuses into this team. Great shot by Sarah Wells.
So Coach Kresge has preached needing a defensive effort for the Catamounts. Canisius is on its 3rd offensive possession, and for the 3rd time, the Catamounts holding strong. The block there by who else but Hannah Crimble.
Yeah, it's just being able to get things down low, prevent obviously your opponent from getting to the rack, and now they've got to try again here, and the Catamounts also can get set defensively.
So here's Ziegler with the inbound. We mentioned just playing in her 2nd game this year off that leg injury. Hands off to Timbers, the St. Francis transfer. She can't get the layup to go. Good defense once again by UVM. Utterback pushing it up the tempo, and she finishes the layup coast to coast.
Unreal finish by Emma Utterback. She is having a spectacular freshman season, and the future's so bright for her. What a cut to the rack there.
And the momentum is high for the freshman from Indiana, coming off a career-high 6 assists in the convincing 44-point win against Norwich. Another steal for Vermont. Crimble's got daylight. Her layup, you bet.
I don't know what else to say here about this Catamount defense. You talked earlier about how Lisa Kresge is preaching defense here. An unbelievable start here. Stop after stop after stop, and able to convert as well.
Wide open 3 can't fall from Pugh. The offensive board gives Canisius some more life, needing some points. Nearly 3 minutes in, it's 6-0 Catamounts. Ziegler left 3. That one's too strong. Pugh there for the board once again. Facing 3 Catamounts. Crimble comes up with it. Here comes UVM quickly. The Catamounts have numbers. Larkins can't finish the layup. There for the offensive board, though, is Richardson. Wide open, lefty baseline, Jay. It's good. 8-0 Vermont. Timeout. Scott Hemmer and Canisius cannot ask for a better start from Coach Kresge's squad.
Well, no, you're pitching a shutout right now. Now you're pitching a shutout, but then you're getting it on stops, like actual stops, takeaways, forcing turnovers. These aren't missed shots that are resulting in what we're seeing right here.
Ladies and gentlemen,
that's right, forget.
It's the
Growing your business isn't just one thing, it's a million little things. Should you lease, rent, or own? How fast can you get that part? Does it fit the budget? That's what your local cat dealer is here for. With expert advice, flexible financing, and industry-leading equipment, you can get the job done day after day. For a limited time at Milton Cat, get 0% for 60 months on select new Cat compact equipment.
My anxiety kind of spiked through the roof, and I started having depressive symptoms, and it got to the point where I couldn't function anymore.
We've been really privileged to have some courageous student athletes, but also invested administrators and coaches.
It's okay to be sad. It's okay to have anxiety.
There's nothing more important than the health and safety of our student athletes, and I think the mental health initiative is one that we're going to continue to build on and make a difference in all of our student athletes' lives across the league.
There's just something about Vermont. It's in green mountains and maple syrup. It's about the people. It's what makes us strong. No other company has symbolized Vermont's strength and independence more than Vermont Mutual. The only place to purchase Vermont Mutual policies is through local independent insurance agents. Vermont Mutual is the oldest insurance company in our state and also one of the highest rated in the nation. For your home, auto, and business insurance, visit Vermont Mutual online to find a local agent near you.
Sorry, we were running late. No problem. Come on in.
Welcome back to Patrick Gymnasium. Jake Marsh and Jamie Scavato, all Catamounts early on so far.
Yeah, and doing something they don't normally do a lot. They average 3 steals a game, getting 4 here to start this game. 4 turnovers for the Catamounts, forced 6 points off of those turnovers in an 8-0 lead.
And the Catamounts have 4 steals. Get this, Jamie. The Catamounts are averaging just 3 per game this year. They have 4 in 3.5 minutes of play.
Yeah, I mean, I guess defense is going to be the MO here, and to be able to get those stops early on, build some early momentum, it's crucial.
So Canisius desperately needing some points. Sweeney's doubled in the corner. She drives, off-balance layup. No, Krimble right there for another rebound. And the Catamounts have all the numbers. Layup, good, Utterback. It's 10 in a row for UVM out of the gate.
And the Catamounts are just absolutely rolling here. Great rebound by Hannah Krimble, and to get that ball out and to get it down the court quickly for an easy score.
So let's see what Coach Hemmer has drawn up during the last timeout. Forced to call one just 3 minutes in. It's Anna Sweeney making her first start since sophomore year. In trouble, guarded by Utterback. Shot clock dwindling down for the Golden Griffins. 3 seconds to shoot. Layup, good. Thanks to Shayla Sweeney, the LaSalle transfer. And finally, the Golden Griffins break the ice. It's 10-2.
Yeah, getting that goal with 2 kinds of crunch time going. One, you're down by double figures early on. Another, you got 2 seconds left on the shot clock. A little bit of a clutch shot there.
So getting another look at Canisius' first points. That was a tough look there from Sweeney with the hop step and finally getting the road team on the board. So Vermont looking to build a little bit of a winning streak coming off that 44-point win versus D3 Norwich. Utterback off to Krimble, immediately double, finds a cutting teammate. The layup is good from Richardson, plus the foul.
What a pass by Hannah Krimble there to get that to Richardson, and of course she managed to get the and one opportunity as well. Great play down low, started by Krimble here.
So Hannah Krimble burst at the double team, and as Richardson finishes the free throw, now 3 of 4 on the year. It's all Catamounts in the first 5 minutes, up by 11.
And Richardson with 5 points to start this thing off here in the first quarter.
3 off to the right, another offensive rebound though. Sweeney has all 4 Canisius points thanks to a second chance opportunity there.
Well, she only averages about 3.5 a game, so Sweeney already over the season average here, getting some bonus minutes to start the game.
Wells averaging just 3 points per year, looking to get it going on the offensive end. Nice gutsy effort there on the defensive end from Canisius.
Yeah, if you're Canisius, you just got to start disrupting here. This Catamounts team is rolling. You got to do whatever you can to throw a wrench into things.
Larkin's the inbounder. Off to Krimble. Both captains getting a touch on this possession. Trimble in trouble. Off to Richardson. 5 to shoot. Richardson to Wells. Got to make a move. Deep three, right wing. Too strong. Offensive board, Larkins, and she puts it right back and in. The gutsiness and the heart by the Catamounts being shown there.
Great work in the backcourt by Josie Larkins, and to get that finish as well. And you got an 11-point lead here for the Catamounts in the early goings.
Canisius trying to score on the third straight possession. Can't get it going as Utterback gets the rebound and moves quickly, coast to coast, finger roll layup, you bet.
She is on fire here at both ends of the floor. Obviously, she's got that speed. We know that already, but being able to get as many steals as she has so far in this game, she is just doing it at both ends.
DeJay Patterson-Ricks, number 5 in blue, the team's leading scorer, averaging 18 points per game. She's still scoreless, so that just shows how well the Catamounts has been playing so far. Here's Patterson-Ricks. This shot is denied by UVM. Outlet pass, Sarah Wells. She's got space, and she finishes the layup.
Some sort of modified acrobatics on the finish there by Sarah Wells, but that transition opportunity was started by Sarah Wells getting a hand on that shot attempt, and that just sort of got everything rolling.
Catamounts by 15 in the early goings. Layup no good from Tiffany McGee, but she is fouled for the first time tonight on either side. The first foul on Richardson.
Seeing these increased minutes for Sarah Wells is fantastic. She is somebody who, every time she is on the floor, this team has almost an extra step, or they almost have an extra added piece of motivation. She is such, I mean, you talk about the glue players, and she is that player for this UVM team, and to see her playing a lot is great.
So here's Tiffany McGee, a 6-foot freshman from Brooklyn, averaging just 6 minutes per game this year. Can't finish the free throw. And let's talk about the depth on both sides. Jamie, the Catamounts, Coach Kresge was not shy to say that they'll play 6 or 7 players this game. But if we look at Coach Hemmer's squad, Tiffany McGee averaging 6 minutes per game. The Golden Griffins have plenty of weapons. He's just trying to figure out the ones that work.
Yeah, and that's what you got to do when you're, again, before you get to the conference portion of the season. This isn't preseason, these games count, but this is where you got to figure out what your best lineup is going to be. And for Coach Kresge, the depth is, there are many factors contributing to the lack of depth thus far.
Larkins a 3 is too much. Wells tries to save the board, and she can't. And here come the Golden Griffins with a 3-on-2. Nice feed and finish. That was Patterson-Ricks. Off to Sweeney. Patterson-Ricks, we mentioned the leading scorer for Canisius. 18 points per game, but she averages nearly 4 assists per contest, too.
Yeah, if she's not been getting her opportunities to score, she's got to be able to distribute the ball and give other people the opportunity, because they've got to get on the board here.
Trimble has 2. Off to Abby Settlemeyer, who's played in 4 of the 9 games this year for UVM. 2 seconds to shoot. Trimble can't beat the shot clock, and it's a turnover for Vermont.
Just a little bit too much of a defensive wall there to try and work around, and unable to get a shot off for the shot clock as we take another look at this sort of dish here to Sweeney, who's got 6 points.
Golden Griffins looking to build some momentum, down by as many as 15, but Trimble right there says not today. The layup opportunity from A.J. Timbers. Catamounts by a dozen. Final 2 minutes of the first quarter. Utterback drives, layup, count it, off the glass. Emma Utterback.
That's 8 points for Emma Utterback. On her way to another, double-digit scoring afternoon here for the freshman.
Catamounts by a couple of touchdowns. Timbers, straightaway 3. Nothing but net. That's A.J. Timbers making her first start of the season, a transfer from St. Francis, Pennsylvania, just a 33% shooter from downtown, but she's got some momentum coming off a career high versus Albany.
Yeah, it's her 5th three-pointer of the season right there, and it looked like it might as well have been her 10th because it was a clean shot.
Trimble, layup, no, but she'll get a couple of opportunities at the stripe.
Well, if you're not going to get the bucket to go in, at least draw the foul and give yourself a chance to give your team 2 points.
See that 3 from Timbers. She saw she had a little bit of space, so why not take advantage? Pulled up, got it to go. Coach Kresge certainly seems fine with the way her team started off, as Hannah Krimble finishes the first. Just a 65% shooter, so if you want to nitpick something she's got to work on in her game, I guess you could say that, but the team's leading scorer, leading rebounder, top 10 all-time in scoring. Really not much you can say to bring her down.
Yeah, what's strange about her free throw shooting this year is she was around 90% for much of last year, so it's just kind of been an off start for Krimble in that regard.
That shot way off balance, but Canisius gets fouled.
Vermont foul, number
It's one.
23.
Utter back.
Her first personal, second team foul.
Second on the team, so Catamounts playing clean basketball on both sides so far, but it'll be two opportunities here for Canisius. DeJay Patterson-Ricks. We mentioned the team's leading scorer, but Jamie, she's got a goose egg right now and get a couple opportunities here.
Yeah, but it's still also only the first quarter, so you never know. I mean, I'm assuming she'll get hers at some point. It's just a matter of figuring out how do you get her the basketball, how do you get her opportunities, and she's got enough talent to finish when she has those opportunities.
She is an 86% shooter, so no issue at the line there. She's got her first two of the day, and we're seeing some pressure here defensively from Canisius. As Utterback's in trouble, and we've got a tie-up, but possession arrow will go over to the Golden Griffins. And the pressure is something we need to touch on, because last year in a 21-point win for Canisius in Buffalo against Vermont, Coach Kresge mentioned that was something that really rattled the Catamounts offensively, trying to get the ball down the court.
Yeah, now you got your home floor, though, so the pressure's a little bit different. Being able to get things done at home, take away by the Catamounts here.
There's a nice block from behind by Abby Settlemeyer off the bench. Here's Wells, in and out, loose ball, and Canisius comes up with it. A little bit of momentum for the road team, down by 10.
Cut it down to single digits here.
Patterson-Ricks contested layup, no. About a 5-second differential, shot in game clock. See what the Catamounts draw up here, what will most likely be their last opportunity of this first quarter. Up by 10. Larkins off to Krimble, and she loses it, but saves it. Nope, they're going to call it out of bounds.
Almost saved that one. It just went through the fingertips of Hannah Krimble. A very uncharacteristic, unforced error by the captain of this team.
Catamounts, a team averaging 13 turnovers per game so far. Canisius will get one last shot here. We're down by 15. Now down by 10. 5 to go. Timbers drives. 3 seconds. Nice feed. Layup. Sweeney. No. And that'll do it for the first quarter.
Hannah Krimble preventing the putback there.
So 22-12 Vermont over Canisius. The Catamounts.
Now we're going to call again, but we'll cook on our mouth. That's good stuff.
Excuse us as we try to not talk and chew. Got to be respectful.
I totally did that on purpose.
Yeah.
That was part of the fun.
Anyways, 8 seconds to shoot for Vermont. Krimble, wide open right corner three is too much. And a board by Anna Sweeney for Canisius.
Shot rattles out for Krimble, but it wasn't a bad shot, and that's one thing with the Catamounts here this afternoon. The shots they've taken have pretty much all been good ones. Actually, some of the bad shots are the ones that have gone down.
Shayla Sweeney have an offensive 3 seconds call. That is turnover number.
That's number
4
for
Canisius.
Actually, sorry, number 5 for Canisius.
So the Catamounts were up by as many as 15. Canisius went on a mini run there to cut it to 10. Had a chance to make it single digits. As Sarah Wells drives, has an open lane. She can't finish the finger roll layup. And the Golden Griffins are moving quickly on the offensive end. Patterson-Ricks contested layup, no, but she will head back to the line for the second time today.
No, you're not letting her get buckets, though. You're forcing her to go to the line and take these free throws, where she is pretty much automatic, but she's not getting her shots, and they're not giving her a lot of opportunities. And you kind of notice as we take another look here at the drive from with Patterson Ricks. And, you know, it's one of those deals where when you have a team that's so top-heavy with your top scorers, if you lock down that best scorer, you're forcing someone else in the lineup to jump up and beat you. Right now, it's Sweeney leading the way with 6 for Canisius. But good defensive strategy here. Obviously, they're keying on Patterson Ricks.
Yeah, and that was Patterson Ricks' second time at the free throw line. You see Utterback on the bench because that's her second personal foul, and that's of note because when we talked to Coach Kresge, she said she's going to have a depth chart of 6, maybe 7 deep. So in comes Jane McCauley, the 7th Catamount, to play, and beyond her, don't know how many more players we'll be seeing out of Coach Kresge's squad.
Yeah, she doesn't go very far on the bench, and you don't want to see Emma Utterback, especially with 2 fouls, because she provides so much energy.
Krimble rattles it home for 3. She's got 6 points so far tonight. Catamounts by 11.
We've seen her do it down low. Now we're seeing her do it from the outside. That's what Hannah Krimble can, well, do.
Krimble 33% from 3. A baseline J is too much from Sweeney. Catamounts moving quickly on the offensive end. Here's Wells off to the right wing. That 3 is good from McCauley, and the Catamounts back up by 14.
3rd triple of the season for Jane McCauley. She's seen increased minutes over the last couple of games as well, and she's been making the most of them.
A quick 6-0 run by UVM. The Golden Griffins looking to get some back. It's Patterson Ricks, the baseline J. No. Rebound by Wells. She wanted to move quickly for a second there. Now it's Larkins running the point. Off to Krimble. 6 points so far for the senior. Wells, heat check, 3, you bet! 9 in a row for Vermont. Timeout once again by Coach Hemmer and the Golden Griffins. So it's 31-14. Catamounts over the Golden Griffins.
Kim, I love that Portal lets us have time together.
I know, right? I have so many amazing ideas for the holiday party.
Ooh, top secret?
Yes. Here's what I'm thinking.
Hi, Kim.
Oh, hi, Alex.
So, what are we talking about?
Just stuff.
Yeah, stuff.
Nice. I love stuff. This is such fun. We should do this more often.
Welcome back to Patrick Gym. 31-14 Vermont, all thanks to 3 straight threes by UVM.
Yeah, the Canisius was sort of crawling back into this game. Catamounts 0 for 4 from beyond the arc of the first quarter, and then here in the second, reestablishing a monster lead with back-to-back-to-back triples.
And if you're Coach Kresge for UVM, you have to be happy that everyone is pulling their weight on the offensive end. You're not just seeing Hannah Krimble, the team's leading scorer, with 18 points too. Sarah Wells has made a couple of threes tonight as well.
Yeah, and you got Hannah Krimble again with 6 points. Sarah Wells 7. Emma Underback 2 fouls. She's on the bench with 8 points, and then Delaney Richardson with 5 points as well. So the Catamounts are spreading it around pretty well. Something they haven't done particularly well so far this season.
Deep 3 from Patterson Ricks is good, and she's starting to heat up. 7 points for the senior from Fayetteville, New York.
Well, if she starts heating up, it's a good thing the Catamounts have given themselves a pretty good head start here. They had that 17-point lead, but now looks like Patterson Ricks might start getting it going here.
Nearly poked that one away. Catamounts looking to get those 3 points back. Here's McCauley with 12 to shoot. Right wing, 3, short, high board into the hands of Tiana Pugh, the team's leading rebounder. 6.5 rebounds per game for the senior. So Catamounts scored 3 threes in a row. Canisius hit 1 thanks to the lady with the ball right now, DeJay Patterson Ricks, all-conference second team this year. 8 to shoot for the Golden Griffins. Patterson Ricks contested layup. Oh, she finger rolls it in. Off balance. A tough shot goes down for the senior.
Wow, that was nice. That was just sort of like knowing where you are in time and space, getting around the defender, getting that hand up, and just getting that nice, pretty roll.
Catamounts back up by 12. It's a mini run here for the Golden Griffins. 5 in a row. Richardson layup. Too easy.
Yeah, she's having herself a pretty good game here. She's now up to 7 points here tonight. The Catamounts are really getting a little bit out of everybody this afternoon. It's something you love to see.
McGee tries driving. She's in trouble. Patterson Ricks once again. Hands off to Pugh. She travels. Turnover number 6 for the Golden Griffins.
Yeah, it was early on where a lot of these turnovers for the Golden Griffins came from. It was that early start where the Catamounts got 4 steals in the first couple minutes of the game. So that's only the first forced turnover by the Catamounts in a pretty good stretch.
Josie Larkins, cross-court pass. McCauley, baseline J, you bet. Catamounts not only scoring, but a lot of these shots, Jamie, are just wide open. Catamounts either creating the space or defensive breakdowns from Canisius. Which part do you see?
I'm seeing more of a defensive breakdown, to be honest with you. The Catamounts are able to take advantage of them, and that's what's most important as we get another 3 here from Patterson Ricks.
Patterson Ricks, 12 points already, and she is heating up. She's got a couple of threes, 44% from 3 as well, but she's feeling it early on, keeping Canisius alive. Here's Richardson, too much on the 3, ball loose. Here come the Golden Griffins. Catamounts back defensively, though. Sweeney, Patterson Ricks, heat check. Oh, my! DeJay Patterson Ricks, 15 points, 3 threes for the senior. That one was near NBA range, too.
Yeah, she was well off the line. Excuse me. And she knocked that one down, but mentioned that she's heating up. This lead is getting smaller.
Long pass, McCauley contested 3. Not close. Bodies on the floor, tie up. Possession arrow goes back to the Golden Griffins. And just like that, Jamie, it's a 10-point game, a chance to make it single digits here.
Well, I mentioned it earlier. The team was up by 17, but Patterson Ricks hasn't done a whole lot, and now here she's coming, doing it all by herself, putting this team on her back as she's done so many times this season, and she's got the Golden Griffins right back in this game.
DeJay Patterson Ricks coming off a 15-point performance against Albany. She's already with 15 tonight. She scored in double figures in all 5 games this year. The Golden Griffins just 1-4 though, and she scored at least 15 in now 5 straight games. Let's see what her offense can do here. It's Sweeney, shot denied. Hannah Krimble hands off to Larkins as her momentum was trickling out of bounds.
Speaking of momentum, look at that.
Delaney Richardson knocks down the corner 3. And it's a 3-party on both sides today. The Catamounts have now made 5 of them.
Well, the Catamounts do like to shoot from long distance, and when those shots are falling, especially from multiple players, you're going to have a good result here. And the Catamounts definitely able to get back to that over 10-point lead, not just a double-digit lead here.
That's Andia Ziegler who finished the layup and got fouled, breaking the double team of the Catamount defense. Ziegler, the junior from Buffalo, where Canisius happens to be, playing in her 2nd game this year. She made her debut against Albany. She was facing a leg injury for the early portion of the 19-20 campaign. Catamounts by 11, 3.5 to go until the halftime break. Larkins runs the point. Co-captain for UVM hands off to Wells. Now it's Richardson. Almost stolen away. Krimble being triple teamed, but she is fouled on the ground.
Nice recovery by Krimble, by the way, on that tip ball. Just knowing where it was and being able to grab it and maintain possession for the Catamounts, preventing not only the turnover, but the opportunity for Canisius to go into transition.
So the team's first foul of this quarter as the shot clock resets to 20. Larkins off the inbound. Krimble, that one's short. And the rebound by Timbers. Wide open left block. Another block by UVM. Canisius not on the same page there. It is turnover number 7 by the Golden Griffins.
Yeah, we've seen a number of breakdowns, not only defensively. You mentioned the open shots for the Catamounts, but down here just a little bit of miscommunication in trying to move that ball around. But, of course, a lot of that was generated by the disruption caused by Josie Larkins underneath.
Here's Richardson, who made a 3 a couple of possessions ago. Wells lobs one up to Krimble. Quick passing by UVM, and Krimble is fouled in the paint. This one's on A.J. Timbers.
Doesn't always have to be pretty, but when you don't have a shot and you can sort of make that quick move underneath and take that foul, get to back to the baseline and be able to get this thing going again.
And you got to figure, Jamie, any time that Hannah Krimble has the ball and it's not being a double team, got to figure that's a win for UVM because Krimble can be deadly. As you see an immediate double team here for Canisius.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't think there's a one-on-one matchup in this game that Krimble can, that would be advantage someone but Krimble.
Richardson, another three. She is heating up, averaging just 5 points on the year going into this game. She's got 13, which is a new career high.
Yeah, career high for Delaney Richardson. She's been doing it from beyond the arc.
Nice cut there, and the layup finds nylon. That's Shayla Sweeney, the LaSalle transfer, who's got 8 points for Canisius behind Patterson Ricks' team high 15. Quick pace on both ends so far for both teams. High scoring first half. Larkins, nice feed. Wells, layup. Got it.
And there's Sarah Wells with a nice move to the baseline, getting underneath, getting the bucket to go.
Under 2 to go in the first. The Catamounts have scored 43 points.
What an offensive explosion for the Catamounts here.
This three is short from Sweeney. And a reach-in foul on Sweeney for Canisius. It's only the team's third. As you see here, the nice feed from Larkins to Wells.
And that is a career high for Sarah Wells. Or actually, no, a career high is 11 coming last year. But she's getting to that career high, so in all likelihood, we'll see her reach that mark. A season high for Sarah Wells here with 9 points.
Yeah, her previous season high was set against St. Francis last week. Speaking of career highs, 3 Catamounts found their career high in that 44-point drubbing over Norwich. Larkins cashes in the three. It's another tray for UVM.
And the Catamounts continuing to make things happen from beyond the arc here after going 0 in the first quarter. Starting to heat up a part of their game that is so critical because they need that three-point shot. They're usually not a bigger team than their opponent.
Patterson Ricks gets a couple back on the other end for the Golden Griffins, looking for any sort of momentum before we hit halftime. Final minute of the first half. Wells, another three. Why not? Too much. And a rebound by Timbers. Here come the Golden Griffins. Patterson Ricks, coast to coast. Puts the brakes on. Hands off. Pugh. Layup, no, but she is fouled by Hannah Krimble.
And a quick foul there by Krimble. For someone who's a big like Krimble is, she doesn't foul a lot. But she picks up her second here, and it comes late in the first half.
So Krimble comes off to a nice ovation as Larkins gets coached by her coach, Elisa Kresge. And at the free throw line for a pair, it's Tiana Pugh, 77% shooter. Her first free throw is short. Tiana Pugh playing a much bigger role this year on both sides when we talked to Coach Hemmer before the game. She scored in double figures 7 times last year, and so far tonight, she is scoreless. Can she change that? Yes, she can. She's got her first point of the game as the Catamounts lead by 14, as we're seeing some more pressure defensively by the Golden Griffins.
Yeah, well, they got to do something to stop this Catamount momentum here. It's been a double-digit game for the most part since it was 10-0.
Deflected out of bounds as Ziegler got a hand on it. 16-second differential shot in game clock, so Wells will inbound in the front court for UVM. Larkins back to Wells. Again, Hannah Krimble on the bench. Larkins pulls up, corner three. Saved by Settlemeyer. But here comes Canisius. Shot clock off. It's Ziegler, coast to coast. Breaks the double team and finishes the layup. She really threaded the needle there in between 2 Catamounts.
Yeah, and it was a good turnover and transition play for Canisius. Catamounts almost able to save that, just ended up losing it in the end there.
5 seconds to go. It's Wells off to the corner. 2 seconds left. The handoff intercepted, and that'll do it for the first half. Energetic first
Yeah, she's been fantastic. And you know what? It's that game against Norwich. You can say, oh, it was a Division III game, but the timing of that game and when they needed it and what UVM needed to get out of that Norwich game, you look at the way they're playing here this afternoon, and you can almost feel like they really used that game to their advantage to look forward to the rest of the season.
So here's Richardson off to Wells. Underway here in the second half. The Catamounts led by as many as 17. Now it's a dozen. Canisius looking for a quick run out of the gate here. Richardson drives, kicks, Krimble, open three, short, loose ball. It's Canisius basketball, but once again, right there to crash the boards, Josie Larkins at least gave her team a shot.
Absolutely, and I mean, that's what you got to do in that situation. It's just sometimes, you're not going to get it every time. Nobody makes 100% of their shots, and nobody, converts on 100% of offensive possessions, but definitely getting it done.
Pugh off to Ziegler, playing in her second game this year. Made her debut last week against Albany, was fighting a leg injury the rest of the way this season. Patterson-Ricks contested layup. That one doesn't have a chance, and hooked from behind is Krimble, the foul on Ziegler.
Yeah, and Ziegler just kind of she was going up after the basketball and just came down on top of Hannah Krimble, but tough contact there for Krimble, because then, you're taking an elbow to the face, never feels good, but, you take a lick and you keep on ticking because Krimble's ready to keep things going here.
Hannah Krimble so far tonight has 6 points, averaging 18 per game this year. That's most on the Catamount team, and now she's just 16 points away from moving into 8th all-time. So if Krimble can get on a roll here, she can break another milestone in the UVM record books. We'll keep a tab on that one. 10 seconds to shoot for the Catamounts on their second possession of this half. A layup is in and out from Utterback. And here come the Golden Griffins now, down by a dozen. Open three, Ziegler, air ball. Utterback, as she always does, moves quickly, kicks out Wells, corner three, too much. And a high rebound from the Golden Griffins. Both offenses still looking to find their mojo in the early portion of this third quarter.
Yeah, but 2 back-to-back good looks by the Catamounts, especially with Emma Utterback in transition. She can just run back and forth down the floor. And that three-point attempt, definitely Larkins must have gotten a hand on that as it falls way short.
Stripped away from Sarah Wells, her 5th steal of the season, as Larkins runs the point for UVM, the co-captain from New Jersey. Wells hands off to Krimble, who's posted up. That leaves a wide open Richardson. The three is short, but another offensive rebound by Vermont. Offensive board number 4 tonight. Krimble, and a reach-in foul on the Golden Griffins. This one goes against Tiana Pugh.
Catamounts getting second and third opportunities on possessions here. That's something you gotta love to see. Again, there's been so much, if you're Coach Elisa Kresge, to like about this basketball game and what this Catamounts team has been able to do here today.
So a fresh 20 for UVM to work with. Off the inbound, the long J is short from McCauley. Here comes Brown quickly in transition. Her layup bricks to the right. Long rebound Larkins. Catamounts have numbers. Cross-court pass Utterback. Long two. Too much. Krimble nearly there. The Catamounts will once again extend this possession. That's all you can ask for off the miss.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of misses here early on in the third quarter, but again, a lot of them are coming on open looks. So whatever the Catamounts are doing in terms of offensive scheme, it's working. Keep taking those shots as you get them. Eventually they're going to start falling, or at least that's what you hope.
And the Catamounts are extending these possessions, Jamie, but they're still looking to cash in on them because they only have 4 second chance points so far, even though they've had more opportunities.
Yeah, well, I think we saw a lot. We're seeing a lot more of it here in this third quarter, but a lot of the points that the Catamounts have gotten have come off those turnovers and off those steals and getting their own open shots anyway.
3 minutes into the second half, we're at the same score we were at the break, 46-34 UVM. Long three left side, in and out, no. Pugh there. She's blocked and stolen away by Hannah Krimble. She can do it all.
That was a schoolyard block and steal there by Krimble. Nice work.
Richardson playing with the career high. Kicks out. Krimble, open three. Too short. And a long rebound by Sanderlin.
Thank goodness for the defense of the Catamounts here in this third quarter. The offense sputtering a little bit here, not making shots, getting looks, but not making them.
The spinning layup is too much from Sanderlin. Krimble with another board.
Krimble has been battling here in the third quarter. She's been all over the place, as it's been obvious that Canisius is trying to go inside, and she's been there to stand up to the task.
Krimble's got 8 rebounds so far tonight, along with 6 points, so certainly has a chance for another double-double. Larkins straight away, count it. And finally someone scores 4 minutes in. It's the Catamounts who extend the lead to 14.
Nice little mid-range drop there by Josie Larkins to put the Catamounts up by 14.
What a crafty move by DeJay Patterson-Ricks, the one-hand scoop from the right side. She's got 19.
Yeah, she is just tough to stop. And the Catamounts in the past, in these last couple of games here, when they've gone against very athletic, undersized guards, they've had trouble defending them. And this is another situation here with Patterson-Ricks.
So UVM by a dozen. Larkins, one-handed feed to Krimble. Captain to captain. Catamounts break 50.
And getting it done with Hannah Krimble. Getting herself up to 8 points now in this contest. And a lot of her work's been done down low on the defensive side.
Pugh pump fakes. Hands off to Shaunae Brown, who made her first career start in the last game against Albany. And another steal by UVM as Pugh turns it over right into the hands of Richardson. Comes Larkins facing a double team. Her layup is good off the window. And another timeout by Scott Hemmer, the second-year coach from Canisius. Seems frustrated. 52-36 Vermont Catamounts, exactly midway through this third quarter. Back in a moment here at Patrick Chin.
That will stretch to a full timeout, but it will not record.
Food for thought.
It's more than a common phrase.
It's the intellectual nourishment that surrounds us at the University of Vermont.
Those ideas.
That atmosphere, those classes that get us up in the morning
and keep us up at night. Food for thought connects us to other hungry thinkers. Thinkers who will change your world. Like this one.
Or even this one.
All the food for thought in the world is on the menu at the University of Vermont.
Let's dig in.
People, we're out here, heart and soul.
But you can't see us. If girls don't see women in sport,
They won't stay in sport.
show where she belongs on the track, the field, the ice, and on the court.
Give her visibility so she sees how unstoppable she is, and she'll break barriers.
We're the girls, uh-oh, we're the girls, uh-oh, we're the girls.
Growing your business isn't just one thing, it's a million little things. Should you lease, rent, or own? How fast can you get that part? Does it fit the budget? That's what your local cap dealer is here for. With expert advice, flexible financing, and industry-leading equipment, you can get the job done, day after day. For a limited time at Milton Cat, get 0% for 60 months on select new Cat compact equipment.
Sorry, we were running late. No problem. Come on in.
16 points, but Canisius is DeJay Patterson-Ricks really keeping the Golden Griffins in this game. But on the other end, the Catamounts getting the job done.
Yeah, this third quarter is looking more like the first. Maybe not as extreme, but the Catamounts are getting steals, they're getting looks, not knocking down the threes. Catamounts are 0 for 5 from beyond the arc, but Hannah Krimble, as you saw in the highlights, getting things done from inside.
The defense there, though, for UVM, allowing just 2 points in the first 5 minutes as Sanderlin's J from the free throw line is short. And a long rebound by Richardson. Catamounts 2-on-2. Utterback kicks out. Lorkins, right wing 3, in and out. And that one was last touched by Canisius. So once again, we sound like broken records, Jamie, but another second chance opportunity for UVM.
Yeah, they're just not. It's weird. If you look at the stats, it's surprising when you look and you see they've only got 4 second chance points. We'll see if they can turn that around here out of the break.
Hello, my name is Itsy Bitsy. I love watching the weather. Rain again? That's impossible. I always plan ahead. Let's try one more time.
Robin, what do you think of the story so far?
Gee, I've always liked arachnids. Solid opening. Boy, I can't wait to see how it ends.
What a coincidence. I can't wait for it to end too.
Portal from Facebook.
keep doing what you're doing and stop the Golden Griffins from making shots. I mean, the Canisius shot 3 for 18 in the third quarter, and a lot of those because the Catamounts were contesting everything. Golden Griffins didn't get a lot of open looks, and there weren't a lot of easy opportunities for them. So if the Catamounts can keep doing that and don't turn the ball over, the Catamounts with 0 turnovers in the third quarter. And, of course, if you're Canisius, you got to start disrupting the Catamounts and, conversely, make your shots and
Not
get some open looks.
On the right foot with the traveling violation there. It's turnover number 11 by the team in blue and gold, averaging 16 turnovers per game so far. The Catamounts, meanwhile, averaging 12 giveaways per game. They have just 4 so far, as you mentioned, Jamie. Very clean basketball for UVM. Up by 18 as we begin the fourth quarter. Richardson in trouble, and a timeout called by Coach Kresge and the bench. 62-44 Vermont in the early stages of this fourth quarter. More to come on the other end here on ESPN3.
Kim, I love that Portal lets us have time together.
I know, right? I have so many amazing ideas for the holiday party.
Ooh, top secret?
Yes. Here's what I'm thinking.
Oh, hi, Kim.
Oh, hi, Alex.
So, what are we talking about?
Just stuff.
Yeah, stuff.
Nice. I love stuff. This is such fun. We should do this more often.
Back inside Patrick Gymnasium in Burlington, Vermont. All Catamounts up by 18 in the early stages of the fourth quarter. Jake Marsh alongside Jamie Scavato, and the Catamounts were pressured there on the offensive end, so Coach Kresge had to call a timeout. But UVM did have 4 to work with, as off the inbound here, a turnover. Here comes DeJay Patterson-Ricks leading the way with 19 points for the Golden Griffins. That ball is deflected out of bounds. It'll stay with the Griffs.
Krimble would have put a nice reach on that basketball. It looked like the Catamounts were going to be able to grab that thing, but unfortunately it was, well, not unfortunately, but the Canisius just able to get in there and make it happen.
Here's Joseph, who was a game-time decision facing an injury entering this one. Good to see her on the court. Ziegler's layup on the right side can't finish. Krimble says, "Get off me," and she takes care of that rebound.
Yeah, and if you're Ziegler, you got to make that layup. That's a tough miss right there. Those are the ones that they've got to get if they want to start chipping away at the lead.
An 18-point lead for UVM. Canisius won by 21 last year in Buffalo. Catamounts looking for some revenge. Here's Josie Larkins with an easy layup on the right side.
Nice shot off the window by Josie Larkins. That brings her up to 11 points now. 4 Catamounts in double figures today.
Larkins, one of 3 Catamounts averaging double figures entering this game, as another turnover, a travel on Anzia Ziegler. It's turnover number 12 on the Golden Griffins.
Yeah, now you're starting to see unforced errors. You saw a layup miss that was not heavily contested that should have gone down, and now you got to travel here.
3-on-1 for UVM. Nice defensive effort from Patterson-Ricks, not giving up the play. The Catamounts had a 3-on-1 there. Golden Griffins lucky to not give up any points, at least up to this point.
Well, that was just generated by the sheer frustration of DeJay Patterson-Ricks. She went in there angry after that basketball, and understandably so. You turn the ball over a couple times on a stop, and there's Hannah Krimble again getting a couple more as she adds on now 14 points for her.
Too easy off the baseline out of bounds play from her co-captain in Larkins. Catamounts by 22. It's the largest lead of the day by the home team. Canisius is going to come back. It's going to be to the lady right there, and Patterson-Ricks, who can't finish that one. She leads the way with 19 points. Bodies on the floor, tie up, possession arrow favors UVM.
And you saw the shot there going well wide to the left of the rim there. Canisius, I don't know if it's that they're gassed, but I do think that they're frustrated, and I think that frustration is starting to show in a negative way here in this fourth quarter.
Coach Scott Hemmer, his team 1-4 so far. Now, looking at the positives, last year they did have its best conference record in a decade, going 9-9 in the MAAC, but so far it looks like it's going to be an uphill battle for the road team. close to coming 1 and 5. Larkin's pull-up J is too much, and a long rebound by Shayla Sweeney, the LaSalle transfer. 2 minutes into this fourth quarter, all UVM up by 22.
They gave that one to Larkins. And a rare miss when she's got that much open space.
Sweeney drives, facing a double team. Pump fakes. McGee, open long 2, off to the left. And a rebound by Utterback, who's got 14 points. Hands off to Richardson. Larkins, left wing 3. Book it.
That was a beautiful sequence by the Catamounts. Get down the floor in a hurry, make a couple passes, pop, fire, and connect from 3.
Catamounts up by 25, and there is no signs of stoppage. Sweeney, 3. That one's short, and a rebound right into the hands to Richardson. Nearly turned over, but Utterback's quick footwork saves it.
We noticed early on the Catamounts were spreading the ball around in terms of scoring. 3 players with 14, 1 with 13. That's some pretty good distribution right there for Vermont.
Larkins can't finish the layup. Here's Patterson Ricks, who's been pretty quiet in this second half so far. She's got 19 total points still, though. Most of them coming in the second quarter.
All of them except for 2 coming in the second quarter. She has been held silent here.
Here's Sweeney, a nice fake. Can't finish the layup, though. That's been the motto for Canisius so far. Now, the Golden Griffins will stay with the basketball, but you see on the other end here, the Catamount, nice ball movement, the feed outside to Larkins.
Very odd. Josie Larkins, just prior to that, missed a wide-open mid-range shot, and then here she is with a hand in her face, knocking one down from 3.
So Vermont leads by 25 points. Doing it on both sides of the ball today here in the fourth quarter. Here's Timbers. Hands off to Sweeney right in front of her team's bench. Midway through the shot clock. Golden Griffins looking for an open look. Here's Patterson Ricks, who, as we mentioned, 17 of her 19 coming in that second quarter. 5 to shoot. McGee, 3 to shoot. Drives. Travels. The third traveling violation this quarter by the team in blue.
Wow, and she was going through a forest of trees there. Very surprising that, you take the extra step, but there was a foul there waiting to be had, and it just never came.
Canisius still showing pressure, and a reach-in foul on Canisius. This one's on Erica Joseph. She fouled Utterback. Interesting enough, that's the first foul on either side this fourth quarter.
Yeah, we've almost gotten halfway through, and you don't usually see that many foul-free fourth quarters. Makes the time go by a little quicker, obviously, and if that happens, that's advantage Catamounts because you're looking to close this sucker out.
Up by 25 points with just more than 6 minutes to go, and the Catamounts certainly making a statement so far tonight. In their 3 wins so far, they've won by 5, 8, and of course the 44-point win to Norwich. But in terms of D1 opponents, this is certainly their biggest statement this year.
Absolutely. This is their best performance that I've seen thus far this season. And it's been just great all around. I think that there have been some ups and some downs, and you can always find negatives in any game. But the way this team played complete and not just any one player getting things done, it was everyone really getting something done that was crucial to this team's win. And that's what they're going to need going forward.
Patterson Ricks was just called for her second foul off the inbound. Utterback, too much. Trimble tries to save it, and it's Canisius basketball. But Jamie, going back to the state of this Catamount team, they have those 3 wins, but they've also gotten their hearts ripped out in a couple of these games. You have an overtime loss to Rhode Island, double OT loss to St. Francis, earlier on losing by 2 at Loyola. So the record is about to be 4-6, but it certainly could be flipped as Timbers can't finish the jumper.
I think there's no doubt this is going to be a team that's going to be competitive in America East play once we get there. Emma Utterback taking an elbow to the face there. Looks like she's getting up slowly.
That's the last thing the Catamounts could afford right now is Utterback, who's been playing really well today. 14 points. Looks like she's pointing to her left eye, maybe just poked in the eye. And then she gives the thumbs up to her coaching staff. She'll stay in the game.
Looks like she might have herself a little bit of a shiner tomorrow. Okay, some battle scars from a well-played basketball game. And to elaborate kind of on my point earlier and what you were saying, Jake, is that this team has had a couple of heartbreakers in there. When you see a game like this, and you see a game where everyone gets something done. They don't have a lot of depth. They're going to only go 6, 7, maybe 8 deep, as we'll get a transition bucket here, and I'll complete that thought.
Unfortunately, Utterback would still be reeling from the previous play as we have an official stoppage here. Looks like the officials were ordered each team to their bench. See that play where Utterback looked to be poked in the eye.
Oh,
the
yeah,
right
she
eye
was
right
poked
there.
in the eye. Yeah, that's not an elbow. That's
now the officiating crew of Daniel Estevez, Ashley Good, and Mark McClenny will come over to the monitor to see if there was an excessive contact. But look, that looks pretty incidental.
Oh no, it's absolutely incidental. She was going, she was trying to make a play, and Emma Utterback's face got in the way of her hand. I mean, that's something that happens in sports. Hopefully there's no damage and no scratched cornea or anything like that. I mean, she said she could stay in the game, but I got a feeling now with your team up by 25 points, you sit Emma Utterback down. She had herself another double-digit performance here tonight. And this also actually kind of, that's the thought that I was trying to finish earlier, where if your team's only going 6, 7, 8 deep in a game, maybe 8, and that's a stretch, and that probably will be that way for the foreseeable future, it's got to be all hands on deck. It can't be a situation where it's like Hannah Krimble's getting everything done, or they won because Josie Larkins had a big night or something like that. It's got to be games like this where you've got multiple players in double figures, a high number of rebounds from some people, and good shots coming from everywhere else. And as we get a look at the that was the poke to the eye, and afterwards I think it was obvious that was aggravated once she started moving around with it.
Right, there's
it just started hurting again.
She tried shooing off the trainers, which was good to see. It was a positive sign, but I guess the adrenaline kind of leveled down after that.
Well, I mean, shocker, Emma Utterback tried to be tough. I mean, she's a tough player.
Speaking of
she's shown it in their first year here.
Look at this. She's going to stay in the game.
She's ready to go. She had a replacement eyeball on the bench there, so they just kind of popped that in there, and good to go to get out.
So
it's a tough kid. It's a real tough kid.
Coming out of this review, still waiting on official word on if it was incidental contact or something excessive.
Yeah, we're definitely looking at no foul there. It was, again, incidental, and Emma Utterback looks like she's ready to get back out there and play again. And that's the word we got. Yeah.
Incidental contact, no foul call. Good job by the officiating crew, but always nice to make sure they were right. That is exactly the case here.
Yeah, you don't want anyone intentionally poking someone in the eye.
So Catamounts lead by 25. It's more than 5 minutes to go in this fourth quarter. Utterback stays in the game after getting poked in the eye. Larkins off to Settlemeyer, around the arc to Sarah Wells. Now it's Krimble, 5 to shoot. Catamounts got to make a move. Larkins, 3 seconds to shoot. Puts up a desperation heave. It's short. And a rebound and a foul from behind on Settlemeyer.
Gives the Catamounts at least a chance to get down floor, get something set. First foul against Settlemeyer.
First on the team as well this quarter.
Come with 5 minutes to play.
We'll take that any day. Catamounts lead by 25. Looking to win consecutive games for the second time this season. They beat Bryant and Navy in mid-November, coming off a 44-point win against Norwich. And looking for another winning streak here tonight. Good defense there by Sarah Wells. Canisius will keep the basketball, but Wells right there to keep the momentum alive on the defensive end.
Yeah, Sarah Wells doing Sarah Wells stuff, disrupting.
10 seconds to shoot for the Griffs. Patterson Ricks has not scored since the second quarter. She still has 19. Long, Jay pulls up, in and out. Loose ball, Utterback saves it. That's been the night for Patterson Ricks in the second half at least. Quickly, Utterback can't finish the layup, but she was fat.
So now we actually wonder, she's playing, obviously, so her eye must be okay, but you wonder in a standing situation where you're not moving and the adrenaline isn't flowing, you wonder how it'll affect free throw shooting here.
First free throw from Utterback is too much, a 58% free throw shooter. However, she is now 2 of 3 at the line so far tonight. Her second free throw is good.
Looks good. No ill effects from getting poked in the eye.
Sanderlin at the top of the key. Is off to Sweeney. Now it's Patterson-Ricks. Canisius finally scores in this fourth quarter.
Yeah, unbelievable. You almost forgot that. I mean, it's only 12 points in the second half for Canisius here. That's lights-out defense by the Catamounts after having a hot shooting second quarter to sort of add on to what was already a double-digit lead.
Still a 24-point lead for the Catamounts. Krimble on the baseline, 10 seconds to shoot. She's facing a double team. Kicks out, Settlemeyer, jumper, too much. Canisius locking up defensively, but the hole will most likely be too much. Here's Anna Sweeney, who had a career-high 11 points against UVM last year in the 21-point win for the Golden Griffins. Now on the left block, that layup is off the window and good from Timbers.
And now the Golden Griffins starting to get some scoring on the board here, but it may be, well, in all likelihood, it's far too little too late.
You never know, but there are 3 minutes left in this ball game. It's a 22-point lead for Vermont. Looking to keep this momentum alive. Heading into finals week here on campus. They'll have a full week off before hosting NJIT out of the Atlantic 10 a week from today. Larkins' 3 is too much. And he'll stay with the Catamounts once again. A second chance opportunity again for UVM.
They've had a lot of those today. Haven't really cashed in on them. If there was any weakness in the game today, it would be, second chance points. But then again, you also had, about 40 points in the paint and lots of points off turnovers.
Off the inbound. Otterback's 3 is short. And a long board saved from out of bounds by Sweeney. Patterson-Ricks, a 3. That one's short. Tries to follow up with the board. She can't do so. That's just been the way it's been going for the Golden Griffins so far tonight, as well as a 3. You can get that one.
That's a career high for Sarah Wells. 12 points. Owe me a milk. You owe me a milk and a cookie.
Here on Milk and Cookies night, as the Catamounts show no signs of slowing down. It's Utterback, coast-to-coast, Euro step, called for an offensive foul. So look at this Canisius team. Will most likely suffer the loss today. They'll move to 1-5 on the year. As you see the charge here, or excuse me, you see the 3-point shot here from Sarah Wells. 12 points, a new career high, which was set earlier this week against Norwich at 11. Canisius will suffer their 3rd straight loss. And then they'll head down to DeLand, Florida next week for a pair of games against Stetson and Appalachian State. Try to turn things around. They'll at least have some warmer weather.
That game against Stetson will be a good chance for Canisius to get back on track as we wind things down here.
A foul on the Golden Griffins. It's on Amaya Santiago. 15 fouls, so it'll be a pair of free throws coming up for Josie Larkins. As Patterson-Ricks comes out, as well as Hannah Krimble for UVM. Krimble, just another day at the office.
Kind of a head scratcher for Patterson-Ricks. Got so hot in that second quarter, you thought, uh-oh, this is going to be a game. Because if she's going to drop like 25, 30 on us, it's going to be a rough one. But then she just, they defended her so well in the second half, the Catamounts did, and shut her down.
90 seconds to go. Catamounts by 26. 4 of the 5 ladies on the floor for UVM with at least 12 points. Timbers, the 3. Got it. AJ Timbers now in double figures as well.
And the Catamounts with 5 players in double figures today. That's going to be a sign of things to come in terms of this team being able to distribute and spread it around. The future's going to be bright. Look at the teardrop from Sarah Wells, impressive, adding on to her already career high. Now it's 14 points for her.
So Wells having a day to remember, as are the rest of the Catamounts. A convincing performance so far. Sanderlin, her layup's good. So a nice fourth quarter by Danielle Sanderlin, averaging 9 points per game. She's got all 4 points in this fourth quarter. This will most likely be the final offensive look for UVM, up by 23.
You know, I've always I've talked to coaches before and used some of them, their first stat that they look to before they look at anything else is they look at the assist to turnover ratio. And I don't have anything exact in front of us because we only got to the last time out, but at last check it was 14-4, and that was when it was 62-44 in terms of assist to turnover, and that number is definitely different now, but it's going to be in that ballpark, at least in terms of the ratio itself, and that is probably one of the more impressive stats from today for the Catamounts, aside from the 5 players in double figures and everything else, the fact that they were distributing well and protecting the ball well as well.
So the Catamounts can dribble this one off. The shot clock is off. 8 seconds left. And from start to finish, a convincing 23-point win for UVM. Your final from Patrick Gymnasium on this Saturday afternoon. Vermont Catamounts 76, Canisius Golden Griffins 53. Final thoughts, Jamie?
A great all-around performance by the Catamounts. Let's see if this